Selection criteria: experience teaching media production and analysis at Stage 2 and Stage 3. At Frederick Irwin Anglican School, we've been running the Stage 2 and 3 media production analysis course, I guess, since its inception, roughly about 6 years. I was quite lucky in that I had previous experience in teaching media from Year 8 to 12 at St Mary's Anglican Girls' School beforehand. So when it came to writing the new course of study for Stage 2 and 3, I felt that I had a strong grasp on the best way to deliver the content within the structure outlined by Curriculum Council. Each year we try and alter aspects of the course to make it contemporary for the students taking the course. So as well as writing the syllabus, I try to design resources that are engaging for my audience, taking into account their specific learning styles. At Frederick Irwin, we specialise in video production and we provide our students, I guess, a thorough grounding on how to effectively use Premiere Pro software throughout years 8 to 10. This really enables our students in Stage 2 and 3, of course, to be confident using the software, and the course itself then tends to be a little bit more content driven rather than focusing on the actual technology and getting bogged down with that. Similarly, for our print design productions, we provide students, with a thorough grounding in using Photoshop editing software prior to entering into the upper school. Once again, this enables us to focus more on integrating the theoretical aspects of the course into their productions. At the same time, the new course of study was introduced. I made, the decision to coordinate a media camp for our students, so that they basically, over a period of 3 days, we went away, enabled the kids an opportunity to get all of their production work done, all of their filming for the aspects of their short films. We've run this camp at 3 different locations, in Leederville, East Perth, and now we do it down in Busselton. And each time I've been responsible for organising the camp logistics, so from booking accommodation to food to transport, liaising with councils, local councils, and also the police department. And through my extensive experience in teaching media, I am extremely confident of all my students being able to achieve, and also receive, a contemporary and engaging course that stretches their abilities and also enables them to achieve very positive outcomes from the course. And could you please provide us some information on the selection criteria, commitment to supporting the school's proactive pastoral care, and a commitment to upholding Anglican Christian values? I've been entrusted with the role of Jamison House Leader at Frederick Irwin for the last 8 years, and throughout this time I've taken a proactive role in the pastoral care program for a quarter of the school's secondary students. I have been integral in facilitating the school's values program throughout this period of time and continually to endeavour to aid in the personal growth of students. I recognise the need for creating and maintaining a supportive and safe learning environment within schools as well as the community. Personally, as a Christian, I understand the philosophy that St Hildas is trying to instil in its young people. I believe it is the responsibility of the educator to aid in guiding students through life's journey, to make correct judgment about moral issues. To achieve this, they should recognise positive qualities in the educators that serve as a bit of a guide in terms of how they personally should act. I believe I will bring to your school the values that you aim to foster in young ladies that attend St Hildas, and I personally look forward to discussing my ideas in further detail at a formal interview at your convenience. Thank you. And a response for the selection criteria: an ability to enthuse students and to develop in them a love and appreciation of media text and film production. Yep. When I was 14, I followed my sisters and brothers into the cinema business, working 3 to 4 days a week at Port Cinema. Initially I was a candy bar attendant, then I progressed on to a doorman, and then eventually as a manager. And I eventually ended up leaving when I was 21. Wow, 8 years. I watched every single movie that came through the box office, and some of them probably watched about 10 times over. And I guess this is where I grew to love the big screen. Later in this role, I also worked at Essex Street Theatre, and this is where we screened many art films. What an eye-opener. Less explosions and probably greater emphasis focused on codes and conventions, and also looking at different genres and film styles, many of which I'd never heard of before. My enthusiasm for viewing text transferred to I guess, trying my hand at producing them, and I'm still very much more confident behind the camera than what I am in front of it, I guess, as you can see right now. I tend to treat the classroom as my stage. This is where my love and appreciation of media text is expressed. I bring an element of energy and theatre to my class settings, often getting into character to make a point or to engage students in a thoughtful response. One of my greatest strengths is my enthusiasm towards teaching kids. I'm empowered with providing opportunities for students that would, I guess, not otherwise receive them. Cheers. Selection criteria: interpersonal skills appropriate to establishing and maintaining effective working relationships with students, staff and parents. I recognise the importance in professional engagement with colleagues, parents and the community, and have demonstrated lead teacher qualities in this area. As ICT coordinator at Frederick Irwin, I've been responsible as project manager on a vast number of ICT related tasks. Over the last 4 years, I've successfully managed the rollout of the school's one-to-one laptop program. Initially, this required me to liaise with the school council executive committee in providing strategic advice on how to best implement this plan. Parents and the school community were also engaged, where I was used as a conduit in facilitating information on how, where and why the program was going to be implemented. My role in this position was integral towards the seamless transition during this dramatic structural change within the school. This project was challenging as it required me to work collaboratively on a number of teams, including admin, IT support and also teaching staff, each of which required the development of strong interpersonal relationships. Feedback from my line manager indicated that I excelled during this project and that I was highly effective in the successful implementation of the program. Selection criteria: sound understanding of Mac editing software. What's the difference between a Mac and a PC? About $1,000. Jokes aside, I am experienced in operating as an educator in a cross-platform environment and recognise and understand, I guess, the nuances of each. Personally, I think working in design is easier using a Mac. Whilst at St Mary's Anglican Girls' School, I taught on a multi-platform system using both Mac and also PC systems. All of our video and print editing was done on Macs. For video editing, we use an early version of iMovie, which I loved. For teaching purposes, it was great as kids understood it straight away. And I believe technology should not get in the way of the content that's actually being taught. For print, we used Photoshop. The honest truth is I love this program. So easy to get started, and to this day, I'm still learning new things about what it can do. At Frederick Irwin Anglican School, we predominantly use PCs. Our focus is on Premiere Pro for complex video editing. We use Audition for sound manipulation, and once again, my personal favourite, Photoshop for print. For the more advanced kids, I indulge them in using Illustrator, which provides them with, I guess, a thorough grasp of understanding vector graphics. Sorry, I'm starting to sound a little bit like an IT geek now. As I said before, my focus really is content-driven rather than the bells and whistles of what software can do. I do love Macs though, and Maccas, and John McEnroe. He really was great to watch. You cannot be serious! Could you please answer, in regards to selection criteria, willingness to contribute to the co-curricular program of the school? I believe that the school is primarily a social institution, and that education is a social process, and the school is simply that form of community life. It's important that students become actively involved in the demands of the social situations. These are integral to the development and understanding on the concept of unity. I actively encourage students to be involved with group activities and to foster the benefit that they can gain through this particular type of environment. It is from, I guess, within these settings that students learn most about who they are and what worth they can offer, I guess, to the greater community. Like Gardner, I wear many hats. Over my career as an educator, I have endeavoured to be an active participant in the extracurricular activities that help shape the young minds outside of the classroom. I guess in the arts, I've been involved in the school's drama production, countless short art films, coordinated the photography club, and performed at the end of year teacher review. I've coached a vast array of sports, including tennis, softball, cross country, cycling, rugby union, AFL. I've also coordinated sport courses in surfing and fitness classes, specifically for girls. I'll jump at any opportunity to get out of the classroom. I love getting away with the kids for extended periods of time on school camps, whether it be the media camp that I personally coordinate, the outdoor ed camps or school-based orientation camps. I thoroughly enjoy breaking down the structured barriers that the classroom represents. I guess the competitive animal in me, has not dwindled over time. I regularly run the odd event that engages kids at a variety of different year levels, pitting their skills against those of the staff. I've coordinated table tennis events for 160 students and staff, only to lose in the final against a year 8 in front of, a raucous crowd cheering them on. I've facilitated five-a-side soccer competitions, hole-in-one golf competitions, AFL tipping, you name it, I've pretty much done it. To tell you the truth, I never win, but I love being involved. And that's what I bring, or will bring, to your school. Active community-minded participants who love having a go and, getting involved. Fostering personal growth in young people through extracurricular activities really is very much a passion of mine. Thanks. And a response to the selection criteria. Ability to work as a member of a team. I believe I work really well in small team environments that are focused on achieving set goals for projects. I understand the importance of getting really strong people around you that have specified assigned tasks for which they are accountable for. To empower team members is paramount, in getting everyone to buy into the process of moving forward with any project. I have vast experience in leading a team as well as being a valuable contributor towards achieving an identified project. I believe that in order for any project to be successful, it's necessary to have a team of passionate contributors with varied skills that are single-minded in achieving the goal of a successful program. In my role of ICT coordinator at Frederick Irwin, I work closely with staff from different learning areas as well as administration. I'm responsible for the management of a vast number of ICT related projects and each project, I guess, has its own nuances, where the needs and expertise of team members varies. And I guess as a lead teacher in ICT project management at Frederick Irwin, I've developed the diplomacy required to enhance the individual skills that team members bring to each role. In order for the school to operate successfully, I guess they need a cohesive approach to achieving goals, and I believe communication is paramount in reaching success in any team-orientated goal. I believe my communication skills are very, very strong. Thank you. Could you please provide a response for the selection criteria? Demonstrated high level of competence in classroom teaching. I'm extremely committed to providing high quality teaching. Teachers, they need to know the content and how to teach it. It's particularly important with the transition towards implementing the Australian curriculum. In my role as e-learning coordinator, I'm responsible for liaising with heads of department as well as the deputy of curriculum in developing strategies in moving forward in this transition. I have received post-tertiary qualifications as a trained ICT coach and facilitator, and this training enables me to train other teaching staff members on how to successfully integrate ICT into their own teaching programs. Part of this role requires that I model effective teaching techniques to other staff in their classroom, and I strongly believe that as educators we should continually look towards our own personal development as teachers. There's so much more that we can learn, I guess, from our experience of other educators. I also believe that competent teachers should be able to facilitate appropriate remediation and extension activities that cater for students with different learning abilities. It's integral for students who learn at different rates to be able to be provided with the necessary scaffolding for them to be able to extend themselves wherever possible. At Frederick Irwin, I'm responsible for the creation of the OneNote learning programs that enable students to resource electronic content on school servers, which enable self-paced learning activities. Could you please provide a response to selection criteria, sound understanding of the content and structure of media curricula, contemporary learning theory, and appropriate means of monitoring and assessing student achievement? Look, I love teaching media. I love it because it's dynamic and it's ever evolving. I guess the advent, the impact of social media on contemporary audiences is a bit of a game changer for teachers and students of media. Keeping abreast of these changes is challenging yet exciting, and because the current, the content has to be current and it has to have a real impact on the lives of the students in their world. I believe teachers should embrace this change in how people, receive media content, and also adapt their teaching style to incorporate, such technology. Why not have lessons online? Why not run a blog or present content, via YouTube or have a Twitter account? The goal, is to connect with how students learn in today's world. As teachers, I believe we have a lot to learn in this changing environment. ICT, I think, is extremely useful. It's a useful tool in being able to deliver individualised instruction, promoting, independent learning, also being able to design collaborative project-based learning, and also things that replicate, real-world-like problems. I believe each student has their own individual learning needs, and I'm convinced that the use of ICT towards empowering students to achieve, to challenge, to excel at their own rate of development and to achieve their academic potential. I'm a strong believer in effective strategies towards, assessing and also reporting on student learning. As a highly accomplished educator in this area, I continually look towards developing, a comprehensive range of assessment strategies that aid in identifying the varied learning needs of students. It's necessary, to employ both formative and also summative assessment strategies, enabling effective reporting approaches, for parent feedback. And the response, please, to the selection criteria states computer literacy and the ability to utilise appropriate applications for teaching, learning and administrative purposes. What does this button do? In my first year at Frederick Irwin, I literally had to show another staff member where the on button was. And I guess this was an important lesson in humility, not to take for granted computer literacy. I firmly believe that there is always more that we should know, and therefore we should constantly look towards becoming lifelong learners. This has been no more important than with information technology. ICT is constantly changing, and the importance of being relevant and contemporary has never been more important than now. The important message though is relevance. If the latest UBU application doesn't meet the needs of what is being taught, then don't force it upon others. Many people fall into the trap of using technology for the sake of using technology. I personally believe that technology should do either of two things: either improve the engagement of students in furthering their understanding of their curriculum, or make your own personal tasks a lot more efficient. In my role of e-learning coordinator at Frederick Irwin Anglican School since 2005, I constantly address these questions when providing staff with ideas on how to integrate ICT into their teaching programs. Thank you. Selection criteria statement: organisational and administrative skills appropriate to planning and coordinating a range of teaching programs. I'm a lead teacher in planning and coordination of teaching programs across a range of learning areas. Specifically, I'm responsible for writing the curriculum in both stage 2 and 3 for media production and analysis. I oversee the coordination of these programs with a number of teaching staff who teach the programs concurrently with me throughout the year. An area that requires careful planning and coordination is the allocation of resources. We have 5 year groups that utilise a limited number of resources like cameras, microphones, tripods, and part of my role is that I require teaching programs to be carefully coordinated so that all students and staff have access to these school resources. I have strong skills in planning and implementing effective teaching practice. I recognise that programs need to be structured for the varied learning goals of the student group, and that careful planning and sequencing of learning programs is required in order for you to be able to achieve these goals. Part of this solution is the careful selection and use of resources so that students remain engaged with lesson content, and students not only learn at different retention rates, they learn through, different instructional styles. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming in today, Mr. Fic. We'll be in touch with you very shortly. We appreciate your time.